This period is the Chinese New Year festival. Chinese people in China and overseas hold on to this beautiful tradition, which has been maintained for many thousands of years. It connects the hearts of grandparents, parents, and children very well. It's a virtue that we have learnt about called Katanyu Katavedita, gratitude and repaying it. One who gives first is the one who will be a receiver. Grandparents and parents are those who give to their children and grandchildren. During this Chinese New Year, children go to receive blessings. The parents and grandparents prepare ang pao, red envelopes, and put money inside to give encouragement to children and grandchildren. This has a deeper meaning, developing connection, and teaching about giving and caring. One who gives first is called a pubakari. Katanyu Katavedita refers to one who has gratitude and repays it. They come as a pair. We can see in this tradition that it is a major holiday for Chinese people to return home. Relatives, whether near or far, go back home. Sometimes there are 13-year-old girls who pack food, supplies, bedding, and other usable items and travel by themselves. They're able to take care of themselves. They miss their parents and remember the love their parents gave them with pure hearts and giving encouragement. And this encouragement is important. It helps them face many obstacles. So the symbol of goodness is gratitude and the repayment of gratitude. The ones who give without wanting anything in return are the parents. Therefore, the children express their gratitude. We have also heard in the story of the Buddha's past lives of one life where the Buddha was born as the son of a king, and his father intended to kill him and others in the family. But the Bodhisattva survived through his accumulated merit and virtues. When the people forced his father to leave the city, he followed his father to look after him in both happiness and suffering. He did not stay far away because he had gratitude towards the one who had shown virtue to him. In this period, we also hear of Venerable Ajahn Chah. He had an upachaya, a preceptor, who was not diligent in practice. The preceptor was the leader at his ordination, the one who gave Ajahn Chah a new life as a bhikkhu, a monk in the Sangha. Ajahn Chah later developed the mindfulness and wisdom to attain arahantship and had a great following. But he did not forget his gratitude to his preceptor. He led the monks and novices to help clean the preceptor's dwelling and to care for him when he was sick. The preceptor was quite selfish and kept the offerings he received without sharing them with his disciples, and he ended up being unloved by them. The monks and novices asked Ajahn Chah why he helped the preceptor when he lacked virtue and showed no loving kindness towards his disciples. In ordinary language, they said he was full of greed, anger, and delusion. Ajahn Chah answered with Dhamma, saying these are separate matters. The preceptor's actions and practice are one part. His role as a father and mother who gave birth to him as a monk is another part. Ajahn Chah repaid the virtue of that part. Sometimes he spoke strongly. If your father is a thief and behaves badly, should you therefore be ungrateful? In this way, he taught his disciples to have gratitude towards their Krubajan, the one who gave birth to them as monks. From this we can see the virtue of Ajahn Chah, who recollected the goodness of his preceptor. We also see the great disciple of the Buddha, the Venerable Elder Sariputta, who had gratitude towards his mother. In the last stage of his life, he taught his mother until she attained Sotapanna, stream entry. His mother did not like the Buddha Sasana, the dispensation, because it led her sons to ordain and to become arahants. She had no faith because she felt the Buddha had taken her beloved sons away. When her merit and spiritual accumulations matured, Venerable Sāriputta returned and taught her until she attained stream entry. She respected King Saka, the king of the Devas, the 4 heavenly kings, and the Mahabrahma. On the final day before Venerable Sariputta entered final Nibbana, Mahabrahma, King Saka, and the 4 heavenly kings came to pay their respects to him. Their radiant presence inspired faith in his mother. She realized that her son had great merit and barami, since even these exalted beings came to honor him. Her wrong views and conceit diminished, and she listened to the Dhamma from Venerable Sāriputta and attained stream entry. At this time, there is also a praiseworthy story. In the Philippines, there was a man named Daniel. He had no children. He adopted a small child as his daughter. She was unable to walk, so Daniel carried her everywhere, wrapping her to himself with a cloth. Wherever he went, he took her with him. Others did not see things the same way. They questioned why he cared for her, saying there was only suffering in it. When we build goodness and merit, there are often obstacles. Sometimes our own defilements obstruct us. Sometimes other people do. They feel disturbed by our actions. Why do you keep going to the monastery? Why build goodness? Why help the needy, the dogs and cats, or injured animals? Some people with metta, goodwill, help wholeheartedly, while others see it as a burden. Daniel did not pay attention to what they said. He continued looking after the 2-year-old child who couldn't walk, and later she would become healthy. 20 years passed. Daniel developed problems with his legs and found it difficult to walk. The situation reversed. His daughter then looked after her adoptive father well. She remembered the warmth she had received. Now that her father was elderly, she carried him on her back and went everywhere with happiness. It was her time to repay the virtue of her adoptive father with gratitude, who had loved her as a child. She cared for him just as he had cared for her when she was young. The story appeared on social media in February, and many people praised the gratitude and beautiful love between them. We may think such examples existed only in the Buddha's time and in the texts, but they truly exist even now. There are still people of gratitude in this world, and they bring benefit to it, making it worth living in. They are praised as examples that we can follow. Even though he was not her biological father, she cared for him as her real father. In this era, some children may think they did not want to be born, but their parents brought them into this world. So their parents have the duty to care for them, and they have no duty to care for their parents. This is wrong view and wrong thinking. No parents wish for a child without virtue. They cannot choose who will be born to them, but they hope for a good child with virtue. Even if a child turns out differently, parents still look after them well. Like the parents of Aṅgulimāla, a fortune teller predicted that their child would grow up to be evil, cause trouble for the king, and should be killed early. King Pasenadi said he was still young and might not become so harmful, so the parents raised him. Later, the prediction came true, and Aṅgulimāla killed 999 people. King Pasenadi brought his army to capture him, a whole army for just one person. But his mother, out of deep love, went to warn her son to run away because the army was coming to kill him. This is the love of a mother. Before she reached him, the Buddha taught him, and he eventually became an arahant. So we can see that the love of a parent is great. Therefore, when there is a family gathering, it's very essential to repay the virtues of our parents. And Chinese people have a deeply embedded mind of gratitude. However, having gratitude also requires wisdom in the heart. It should be practiced with mindfulness and wisdom. Sometimes parents endure great difficulties, raising 7 children and even going without food so their children can eat. Later, one child becomes successful and wealthy. Wanting to show gratitude, he takes his parents to eat special food every day. Rich, oily, expensive food with little vegetables and a lot of meat and fat. Later, the parents developed clogged arteries and high cholesterol and pass away. This is gratitude without wisdom. It must be done with wisdom. In this era, the world has become technologically advanced, unlike the past. In earlier times, people had strong forbearance. Children today often have less forbearance. Older generations listened to their elders. Children in this era value logic and reasoning. Therefore, we need to adjust our understanding between parents of earlier generations and children of this era. Both sides need to understand the way of life in this day and age. There were the baby boomers, then Generation X, Generation Y, and Generation Z. Times change. We must understand the feelings of children in these generations. Children today live in the online social world. Whatever arises there is often taken as real and true. They seek acceptance in that world. If they do not receive it, they may feel they cannot live in this world. This world is full of suffering. Some may want to die, thinking death will bring happiness. But it's not like that. They die and go somewhere they don't know. They think they'll die and be happy, but that is not so. There is a next world after death from the human realm. Even if one is reborn in a Dewa or Brahma realm, it is only a temporary resting place. When merit and parami are exhausted, one must return to be reborn again as a human, because there is still attachment to forms, sounds, odors, tastes, tactile sensations, and mental objects of this world. These are connected with the 4 elements. If we dislike, that is craving. If we like, that is craving. The stronger the aversion, the greater the suffering. Without wisdom, one may fall to a lower realm, even be reborn as an animal. Without wisdom to escape suffering, one remains bound in it. We must be careful. We must have knowledge together with virtue. If we see suffering and do not want to live in this world anymore, there is only one path out: sila, samadhi, panya, morality, concentration, and wisdom. This is the path that must be practiced. Then one will encounter true happiness. The foundations are respect for parents, respect for devas of high virtue, respect for Krubajans, gratitude towards them, and following the example of the Buddha and the noble disciples, the Arahants. The actions of our parents are examples for us. When we practice and follow them, we will gain true happiness. May you grow in blessings.